Hello, this is Malorian, and this will be a 2000 point game of my vampire counts against some Empire. So, ever since the book came out, I've been doing tons of list building, tons of theory hammer, but to be honest, I hadn't gotten any games with the new vampire count. So I finally said enough is enough, let's just give them a try. So I posted it up, my buddy here with his Empire wanted to take me on, and here we go. We got meeting engagement, and what I have here from my list is I have 7 wraiths. They're going to be coming off the board. This is no new models. This is just with the stuff that I'd owned from before. I have 2 single spirit hosts. I got a horde of grave guard with great weapons there on the left. They have the banner of barrows. I have in there my level 4 vampire. He has the sword of bloodshed, heavy armor, enchanted shield, and then he has, of course, always strikes first. And if this is a bigger game, I could also put in the Red Fury, but I just couldn't fit it. So it's really my usual thing. Oh, sorry, Potion of Strength as well. So it's my usual type of thing where he's all about the attack and the kill, 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 and the thought that you can't kill him before he kills you. Then on the right, I spend my 500 points of core, getting 49 ghouls and a ghast, and in there is just a hero level wraith. Over on his side, he has a big horde of, I think it's 50 halberdiers on the left with the warrior priest in there. He has also his no, not his BSB. I think it's just that's it. It just has a warrior priest. The banner is just out of the unit because it was falling over. In the middle, he has his great swords. That's where he has his BSB. Beside is his archlector and his war altar. Then another horde of 50 halberdiers with another warrior priest. And then in the back, he has 2 cannons, 2 mortars, and on the far right, he's going to have 2 units of knights. And so really my thoughts going into this game was that my 1 horde of ghouls should be able to take on his right halberdiers. My wraiths, when they come in, it wasn't so bad that they didn't start on. They'll just zip up and they'll hold up the left unit. If I have any openings, I'll try shooting through my spirit host to get to his war machines, and then otherwise my grave guard will just rip out the center of his army and then just go to support either side as needed. The only real flaw in my plan was going to be these 2 units of knights, where if they hit my flank of my ghouls, it could be a little bit of a problem. But, after looking at this, I'm just going to send over my hero level wraith just to probably keep them off my back. So I got first turn because I deployed first, and basically I really just moved up here. My ghouls had to go into the building in order to kind of move forward. Then I got off my Van Hales, let everything move forward again. So the way I interpret it is that lets my ghouls leave the building. And pretty much for my grave guard, if you look where the banner is on that one Temple of Skulls or whatever, that one big hill, that's where they are right now. And on this side, like I said, my 1 wraith broke away just to kind of scare these knights away and keep them at bay. Alright, so he didn't do any charges. His halberdiers on the right, they went into more just ranks. A couple of things I actually think kind of moved back. I think his war altar actually might have shifted back. I'm not really sure. But in the end, it just really came down to his magic. He got off a few buffs, nothing important. Got irresistible force on banishment, got rid of 1 of my spirit hosts there, and then all of his shooting scattered and did pretty much nothing. So, not too bad for his first turn. And on the right here, he's just moving up cautiously, and I probably have the option to charge either right now. My turn 2, I'm starting to engage on the right. I did 1 wound to his 1 warrior priest, killed a good number of his guys, but he also killed some of mine back. I think I already also had lost a few there from a mortar that scattered and just killed a few. But otherwise, my wraiths moved up, and I measured it so that the halberdiers couldn't actually swing past them, and then that means my grave guard could go and just move up right to the very center there and kind of force his hand. I'm trying to get magic off, and especially this time I was trying to get some buffs, but with all the extra dispel dice he's getting, it just wasn't possible. Couldn't do it. Now after the combat, he went and he reformed these guys to be into horde formation, so I guess he really wants to duel it out. And for a second I was wondering if he was actually going to be setting his war altar over here, but things were all pretty clear pretty quick. So let me explain what happened over here. Now, when I measured it out for my Wraith to go into his leftmost knights, I'd need a 7. And I thought, I don't know how much I should really chance this. How about I just don't bother? I'll just march up my Wraith to his left knights, and then he'll be stuck, and the right one will have a long way to go. Well, after I just declared that and kept on going with the phase, then I realized that I couldn't actually march him because he was out of range of my general. And so all I could really do then was to try and block the knights on the right. I failed. As you can see, they're able to swing around me, and his left knights have now charged into the flank of my ghouls. So this really isn't going according to plan. So at the start of his turn, I declared the potion of strength, just because I really expected him to come in, and if not, maybe he might try and keep him back. And in the end, he didn't charge, which I found very surprising, because usually, I've played this guy a couple of times before, and his Archlector is usually defensive. It has the whole mirror where we switch stats and stuff, but he's just staying back. And of course he didn't charge on the left, he just kind of reformed. But on the right there, you can see I got my arse handed to me. The way it works with vampire counts, he got so much combat res with the flank charge, and then, that comes from kills and from crumbling. So that's looking really bad there, and now I'm really going to have to try and kick things up to save the day. My turn 3, and now one thing I didn't mention is that my Graveguard had taken quite the beating from his shooting since everything else was in combat, and so I came in here and tried doing some Van Hales. Sorry, not Van Hales, the raising spell, ION. And, it went great, and I raised a whole bunch of ghouls and some guys here, but I also got a miscast, got a double 1, so I, did the big huge template. I now have less Graveguard than I did before, and luckily on my vampire, I didn't lose him, but, yeah, I kind of had a little bit of bad luck here. And in my turn 3 though, it looks like this. So on the left, I double charged with my ethereal units, killed a whole bunch over there. Of course he's steadfast. On the far right, I'm really grinding him down, but I'm being ground down too, so not looking so great so far. And in the center, of course my vampire just went to town on his. Maybe I didn't really think of it, I didn't really throw anything at his BSB, but otherwise I just killed a whole bunch of his greatswords. The big thing is that I need to kill off these greatswords if I'm going to be going anywhere else, but at this point they're about half dead. His turn 3, this is where things got really interesting. His Archlector charges in. Now, at the time I thought it was really odd because he didn't really announce any challenges, and in the combat before, his Graveguard unit champ had picked a fight with my own unit champ, and we just killed each other. And so I thought, well, why isn't he issuing a challenge? I would have to take it anyway. And so my thinking was that his guy must just be defensive or just be there for cheap points. He doesn't want to get locked into a combat with a vampire. And the main thing as well is I just realized I need to kill these greatswords, because if my combat goes poorly on the right and I suddenly get knights and halberdiers in my flank and rear, it's over. So I went to try and kill greatswords knowing my 3+ re-rolled to hit, 2+ is pretty much to kill. I only killed one guy, and then the Archlector attacked me, and of course Hatred gets to re-roll. Turns out he has the strength 10 hammer, which does d6 wounds. Boom, I'm dead. And after the other combats and crumbling, I actually rolled very good for crumbling, but as you can see from here, it was all just going to be over. I still have to do more crumbling in following turns, and yeah, it's done. So victory to Empire, and yeah, wow, what a really rough introduction to the new vampire counts. Probably the first thing I should say going into this is that the last time I faced this Empire opponent, his army was completely just primer, and so I was really impressed with the amount of painting he had done and how good it was looking. And in return, I was looking at my own army going, oh, I can't believe, look at all these bearer models and all this stuff, and even semi-proxies. Because what I do with my Graveguard is half her great weapon, half her short shield, and I just kind of mix and match as I need to. But past that, obviously it was a big tactical mistake not to send the one Wraith into his leftmost knights. If nothing else, maybe he would have failed the terror test and ran off the board. But irregardless of how that one right battle would have gone with the ghouls, I just obviously made a big mistake with my Vampire Lord against his Arch-Lector. I'm still very much of the feeling that you want to go all offense, and the best defense is a good offense, but I just could have maybe done better placement if I had been keeping better tracks of what unit champs were alive, and just thinking, well, here is his general right here. Let's attack the general. And I mean, obviously the way I rolled, it wouldn't have worked anyway, but yeah, I just pretty much flopped this and I got crushed on turn 3. So harsh, harsh game for me. But hopefully you guys have something to take away from it. Thanks for watching. Bye.